You're listening to Live from the Backroom on 106.1 Flip FM. We are with Kin Faux this morning.
Hey, go, man.
All right, so I said it right.
Yeah, you got it,
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, let's go ahead and start off with that because, my wife was like, are you sure it's not supposed to be like faux or anything like, Fox? Yeah. So, and I can guarantee you guys have gotten asked this every time you've done a radio interview. But tell us the story behind the name.
Sure.
Oh well, man, that's an answer or a question for Mr. Dano down here.
Yeah, well, the story starts.
What had happened was
a long time ago.
Rico and I were playing in a band together, and we were traveling. We lived in the same town, so we would ride together to the gigs, and it was always like an hour and a half to the gigs.
It was long.
And we just got talking one day about putting a side project together, which ended up being Kin Faux. But before we came up with a name, we were just talking randomly about how we spend more time together with each other when you're in a band than a lot of times you do to your family, and that's a sad thing to say, but it's true. And so we were like, it's like we're kin, but not really. So
we have to be.
Faux, so we're faux kin.
There you go.
Kin Faux sounds better, especially for radio.
Yeah. Somewhere along the way, there is another band that if you look you guys look you up, there's another one that goes faux kin, and I can't say what it's supposed to sound like, so I won't. Please, FCC, don't come after us.
Awesome.
So another question I guess I have is, if you look you guys up, you're listed as being from Flint, Michigan, and from San Antonio.
Both, baby.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. We about how many years ago now? A few years ago now. I actually moved to Michigan. I got married. I met my wife there, and went to school there, and we lived there for a while. But I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. So my name's Rico. Sorry, met the boys up there, and Dan, the story goes, I met Dan. I put my ad up on farmersonly.com, and found love and all that. The band came together, man.
You don't have to be lonely.
I know, Dan. People don't know us. We're actually twins. If you can see us, it actually works out.
I see. I totally see the resemblance. Yeah.
That's awesome. You gotta wear that jacket more often. But anyways, so that basically, these boys here. Born in Michigan, but they're Texan now, man. They live here in Texas in San Antonio. So
yeah. Before we moved, we toured about 4 times down here, and on the first time down here, I was like, "What is this place, and why haven't I been here my entire life?" So,
Exactly.
So we should, of course, go through and have you guys each introduce yourselves.
Yeah, my name's Rico Gonzalez. I'm from San Antonio, and I play fiddle and guitar.
And I'm Dan Courier, play drums.
My name's Ross Barkey. I play bass.
I'm Jake. I play guitar and sing vocals, backups.
Brian Phillips. I do sound and sing backup vocals and
Fix guitars.
Yeah, fix guitars and shake eggs.
He's our tech department.
You guys are. So y'all are by far the largest band we've had in here. This has basically become a closet now.
Man, it's okay. You said it was a small space, but we've been in a lot smaller. Yeah.
This week.
And we show up to stations, and they're always laughing at us because we pull up in our band van, and they're like, 1, 2, 3, and they just keep coming out.
It's a prison bus or a clown car.
Prison bus or a clown car. There you go, man. We're in Lubbock. We can't talk about that right now.
So where all have you guys been recently?
Oh man, we've been traveling. We've been to the hill country from Lubbock, Texas, to all the way up to
Nashville.
Yeah, we just finished in Sony. We finished our new EP that's gonna be coming out hopefully next year. And in Nashville, we did a tour in Michigan and came down and did some radio stuff from
Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma,
the west kind of there. And it was a lot of fun. So we've been everywhere, man. They don't stop.
So you're doing this kind of in, I guess, following up on a single that y'all released. Let me see. 6 weeks ago, is that correct?
Yeah,
around there.
6, 7 weeks, yeah.
So Honky Tonk in Heaven. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, Ross, that's all you, buddy. That's all you.
Well, it's a song about the delicate balance between living a life that's good and living a good life.
There you go.
That's a solid answer.
Yeah, man. No, there's a lot of in Texas. There's a lot of Saturday night honky tonkers and Sunday morningers, or how would you say that?
Sunday morning in the pew.
Yeah. So it's a song that kind of just ties it all together, and it's kind of cool, man. It's a story about kind of personally for me when we heard the song. It's written by our buddy Bernie Nelson, and we heard it, and I heard it, and I was like, man, it's kind of funny. It's like a little story about my life because I won't get into it, but that's like kind of what I was living for a while. You know, it's kind of cool. So.
And so this is the second, or excuse me, this is the
Third single.
third single you guys have had.
Yeah, man.
And you've seen pretty good response. I know it was kind of mid-range on the charts right now. I should have numbers in front of me. I am sorry to say. I want to say you guys are
29.
okay on so
Yeah, we just hit top 20 on I think the CDX.
yeah.
And then we're 29 on T3R. Yeah, I think it comes out today too. So we'll see what happens. See if the jump is there. Right? Hopefully it's not a fall. You cross your fingers.
I put my numbers in, so I did everything.
Wow.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And so you guys have you've been touring, you've been playing around, you've been everywhere. Obviously, this year has been a little bit weird. How is that kind of played into everything?
Well, Jake, what would you say, man? We haven't stopped, right, buddy?
We haven't stopped. No, I mean, the shutdown and the pandemic has just forced us to become creative, and we started writing. We kept writing. We've really focused on our social media presence, and we're just trying to keep going.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So earlier this year you had Locked Up in Lubbock. Got some questions about that.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that, Ryan. Come on, man.
So
What happens in Lubbock stays in Lubbock. Oh, wait. It works 9 times out of 10.
yeah. So we are currently recording this in Lubbock, and what I wanted to specifically ask about was the cover to the album is just a lineup, picture, but it seems like someone got it, nailed it as far as what the actual Lubbock, mugshots look like. Any of y'all want to fess up to that? You actually know? Oh, okay. Yeah.
The guy with the tattoos. Let's
Yeah.
say that.
There's no shame. We're not here
True
to,
love.
He has
but
the most experience being incarcerated. So.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Probably thinks that.
Oh.
3 countries.
Three countries. For real? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. You're right.
wow,
I can see.
impressive.
Yay, I win.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a fun one to put together. And man, I remember when we first came to Lubbock, the very first time, and we drove by I think it was the sheriff's office or department.
Downtown,
Yeah, and it's before we thought about throwing it as a single, but there was a couple of sheriffs outside, and I remember walking up to them being like, "Hey, can we take some pictures with y'all?" And
Can we borrow your handcuffs?
Yeah, and they looked at me like, I'm like, all right, never mind.
Stick around. We'll get them out.
Yeah, man, it's funny.
So who was it that nailed it?
No, I'm just saying, the as far as the design and everything.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
props to whoever designed the cover, because you have that perfectly.
Well, that's good enough.
So I don't want to go too much into your criminal history, but and obviously this is a live show. Yeah, it's a family show. I'd invite you guys to play for us. Is there a song that you think would kind of fit the moment?
Let's do that.
Nice setup.
We got a song about a honky tonk. I'm just kidding. All right, yeah. Well, true story or may not be a true story. We'll just play it for y'all tonight.
All right, you're listening to Live from the Backroom on 106.1 Flip FM.
This morning. I had a one-night stand in Louisiana. I was off for a couple of days. I was driving up through Texas on my way to Santa Fe. So I stopped off on this honky-tonk just to kill me a little time. Right inside that Lubbock County line with Ryan. Long necks are cold and the band was hot. The girls were more than ready. I started messing with this little gal whose mouth forgot to tell me that the bouncer man was her old man and he was bigger than a water spout. That's about the time the lights went out. Come on. I'm locked up in Lubbock, sitting in the county jail. Locked up in Lubbock, nobody gonna throw my bell. Locked Locked up in Lubbock, stuck in the calaboose. Hey, locked up in Lubbock, somebody come cut me loose. Oh, yeah. Anybody got bail money? Come on, Jakey. Yeah. Oh, come on. Well, I hate to complain, but here's the thing. Orange just ain't my color. Well, that deputy in charge of me, well, he was that bouncer's brother. And the sheriff's wife ran off one night with the picker from Tennessee. Mr. Jake, I tell you boys, it don't look good for me. Everybody now, come on. Hey. Well, I'm locked up in Lubbock, sitting in the county jail. Come on. Locked up in Lubbock, ain't nobody gonna throw my bail. Locked up in Lubbock, stuck in the calaboose. Locked up in Lubbock, somebody come cut me loose. Here we go. Locked up in Lubbock, sitting in the county jail. Locked up in Lubbock, nobody gonna throw my bail. Locked up in Lubbock, stuck in the calaboose. Locked up in Lubbock, somebody come and cut me loose. Somebody come and cut me loose. Somebody come and cut me loose. Yeah. Come on, boys. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Communism. I got it. That was kind of awesome, man. That's fun.
You're listening live from the back room on 106.1 Flip FM. We are here with Kin Folks, and that was Locked Up in Lubbock. That was amazing.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
You know, it's handy that we're in an office building where folks are still out on quarantine, because otherwise I'm afraid they would come in here and be like, what the heck is that? What's going on?
Little honky tonk upstairs. We're right next to the office over here. What is it? The
Comptroller?
Yeah. So you're a San Antonio band now.
Yes.
I guess you're a Flint, Michigan band now. But obviously, like, you have songs about places like Lubbock. How is it that you have? I mean, let me rephrase that. I guess. Where is it that your songwriting kind of comes from?
Cool, man. Well, we're all trying to develop our songwriting. We're all aspiring songwriters here, man. And so, from the very beginning, the songwriting kind of came from the love came from, you know, just wanting the song, man, and meeting people and being very fortunate and humble to have people in our corner.
Super heavy hitters. I mean, serious songwriters like Bernie Nelson, David Lee, Jim Beavers. You know, we've been very, very fortunate to have such great talent. You know, helping us out and you know, being in our corner.
Wikipedia, man. I mean, these guys. Bernie from the start, you know, he took us under his wing, and it's kind of what kind of inspired us. You know, just watching these guys sit down and write. You know, and from David Lee, who, if you know who Cody Johnson is, you know, you've heard David Lee songs. I mean, he has more hits than I can count on two hands, you know, on number ones. And then same thing with Jim Beavers, man. He's producing our album, man. And what a funny guy. But you see that there's different ways of doing it. We've written with all three guys, and it's cool because I wouldn't say we're the best songwriters in the world ourselves, but with them, they're always helping you to get better, right? And it's a constant learning thing. And if you're not open to be constantly learning, then, you know.
I'm about to answer the question though. Locked Up in Lubbock is a Bernie Nelson song, and we heard it and was like, man, it's right up our alley. Yeah, and then I ended up in handcuffs in Bernie. Yeah, because that was fun.
That was our first tour here, yeah.
Rico. Let's take a picture of you in handcuffs.
We were in Bernie, Texas.
That sounds great, Rico.
I saw a sheriff there, and I was like, hey man, see that guy with all the tattoos over there? And at the time, he had long hair, man. He had long hair, and I was like, that guy with the long hair. It's like, we're a band, in town. I was like, can you put him in handcuffs so I can take pictures? And the sheriff was cool with it, man.
It was funny.
So I'm noticing a pattern of like wherever you guys go, you're gonna find the cops and you're gonna be like, hey.
No.
They find us. To be fair, they find us.
No.
So you guys have a concert this evening. This is we're recording this kind of mid-December. You have a concert tonight in Midland, right?
Yes.
And then you're headed where next?
Laredo.
Wow.
Saturday, right?
Yeah,
It's a little bit of a trek.
you're traveling the state.
I wonder who's booking us.
Yeah, I wonder.
So let me ask, you mentioned you have an album kind of coming out, and I don't want you guys to spoil too much, but what can we expect from it?
Oh goodness.
You expect that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, just some new songs, man. Like I said, with the writers we've been writing with, man, Jim Beavers, and it's gonna be a new album. And people have been wanting some new music, so it's time for us to get it out there. And I don't want to say too much about it, or even give like an exact date of when it's coming out. But you can expect
First quarter,
First
hopefully.
quarter, yeah.
First quarter.
I think it's time to give some people something new to listen to. So
We'll probably launch one more single off it, to be honest with you. I mean, that's maybe a little bit up in the air, I guess. But we'll probably launch one more single with it before it comes out. So that's why it'll be pushed probably into the first quarter, like you said.
Yeah, nothing you say here is going to be held against you. So if you're like, where's their song?
I'm not used to that.
so timid about that. That's awesome, though. No, but yeah.
Well, let me get into some weird questions. Excuse me, I dropped the phone. I apologize. So something I like to ask people is, you guys are no strangers to radio tours. What's the one question that you guys have yet to be asked that you really want to talk about?
Oh wow.
Ooh, man. That's a good question.
Furby collection, Ross.
No, that's boring.
Man, that's a good man, Ryan. You stumped us, bro.
I know.
No.
So the way I also put it is like, you guys want to talk about your favorite cereal. You want to talk about your,
I've often wondered which of the great apes tastes most like human.
That's an excellent question.
Nobody's ever asked me that.
Okay. So here we go.
I don't know. I asked that question too.
And
Wow.
as
Where my mind goes.
as PC and as family friendly as we can make this, what does human taste like?
Another valid question.
You are listening to Live from the Backroom on 106.1 Flip FM, and we may have gotten ourselves in trouble a second time with the FCC.
Yeah.
We're never coming back here.
Now you see why we get locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here with Kin Faux, and we were
Oh, it
discussing
was in Europe.
all kinds of things.
All kinds of things. Oh, any questions on Facebook Live?
Regroup if I possibly can. So then how about this? What are when you guys are kind of playing and you're kind of getting together, what are your biggest influences as far as other artists?
It's across the board, man. I mean, we come from extremely different backgrounds. Rico. He's,
I grew up playing in the symphony, man, and playing mariachi. So growing up, I didn't honestly have a lot of country in the house. I didn't have any rock. It was mostly Beethoven, Vivaldi, and Vicente Fernandez and the Mariachi Vargas. It was literally as growing up from middle school to high school. When I would even when I would play soccer all the time, before games in high school, it'd be like the other guys would be listening to rock and stuff, and pump them up, and I'd be listening to like El Rey, right before the game. It's just I grew up that way.
I'd say, like Jakey said, we're just all over the board with influences, and really nobody has painted themselves into a box. I mean, we listen to everything. But as far as what influenced this band, man, we would have to go down to the Turnpike Troubadours.
Oh,
Cody
yeah.
Jinks.
Cody Jinks.
Fowler.
Cody
Fowler
Johnson,
was a
Fowler,
huge influence.
Randy Rogers. Yeah.
So, again, it goes back to what I was talking about is Rico and I riding together in the van and saying, we just listen to Red Dirt and Texas country music all the time. and that's what really influenced those names were what was always playing.
And I think a big part of that is, I mean, like just coming down here to Texas and touring. I mean, the music community here is so different. I mean, the music here is just it's so authentic, man. I mean, it's just it's different. It's real different.
We talk about like he dropped Fowler. He said Fowler, and you know our first show at Lubbock, Texas, was with Kevin Fowler, and we had been playing a lot of his songs up there, you know, in Michigan, and to be able to meet him for the first time and talk to him, and then here's the deal, not just meet him, but like hang out, man, and to see that
Super cool.
he's a cool guy, and
He
now
makes good chili.
and now we
Oh.
played multiple shows with him, and he's a buddy of ours. I mean, that's just like, how does that happen? You know, it's just and the chili, the bus. I will never forget that. He puts potatoes in his chili. Fowler, if you're watching,
Wow.
buddy.
But I mean,
Look at his face.
I mean, I had a hard enough time accepting.
mean-
Any of y'all have, if you're from Michigan, you've probably gone down to Ohio and had Cincinnati chili. That was a hard enough
Skyline?
understanding, you know. So
I'm not talking little potatoes, dude. I'm talking like
big chunks of
like,
potatoes.
There was chunks, man. But it was good. It was good. Add cheese, it's good.
Especially when it was 45 degrees out.
Yeah, right.
That is true. That is true.
I can be like that tonight.
So let's hear. I guess let's go ahead and get into another song I heard you guys were talking about. Now I have to ask, you know, as a resident of the city that y'all are referencing in this next song, where did this one come from?
That's cool, man.
The same dude, Bernie Nelson, man. The guy is a mastermind, and when it comes to writing and stuff. And early on, like Rico was saying, we're still learning the writing process. You never stop learning that. But we went down to Tennessee when Bernie was still living there. He lives in Fredericksburg now, Texas. But when he lived in Nashville, we went down there, and we just kind of started going through his catalog, really. And we hadn't started writing a lot yet of our own stuff, so this is just another one that was in his catalog that just spoke to us. It just, you know, the whole story. To us, the whole thing is the story of the song, you know, and it doesn't matter where it came from. If we connect with it, then
good story is a good story, man.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And so we take the song and make it our own kind of thing. And a big deal in Texas is dancing, man. And you know that. And this one just had a good two-step feel to it, man. And you start playing it, and people like the two-step, so it works out good. So
All right.
yeah.
You're listening to Kin Folks. This is Live from the Backroom on 106.1 Flip FM.
Threw my saddle in the bed of my truck, I loaded her up with all my stuff, hit the highway, and just like that I was gone. Guess forever didn't get here before she changed her mind. Guess I'll never know where it was I went wrong. But I'll be alright once I cross that Texas line, 'cause I heard it's a pretty big place to hide. A little north of Lubbock, just south of Amarillo, there's a place I go to find some solitude. 'Cause if you ever change your mind, I won't be that hard to find. Yeah, I'm been right here, hiding out in Plainview. Population 21,388. Make her 389 by the time I get there. Don't need any luck in this old beat up truck. I'll just play right in, and I'll be alright right now, man. I swear I'll be there. A little north of Lubbock, just south of Amarillo, there's a place I go to find some solitude. 'Cause if you ever change your mind, I won't be that hard to find. Yeah, I'll be right here, hiding out in Plainview. Come on, maybe someday I'll see you hang around, and we'll catch up on this one old heartache town. A little north of Lubbock, just south of Amarillo, there's a place I go to find some solitude. Yeah. If you ever change your mind, I won't be that hard to find. Yeah, I'll be right here, hiding out in Plainview. Yes, I'm right here, hiding out in Plainview. In Plainview. Thank you, Miss Cassie, for holding me.
You're listening to Live from the Backroom on 106.1 Flip FM. We were here with Kin Folks. That was Hiding Out in Plainview. So, like I said, resident of Plainview. I actually have heard, I knew that song long before I came to work in radio. So,
Really?
I, my son and I, I come to the station in Floydada and go to school with him. So,
Floyd Data, that's how you
yeah.
say it.
Excuse me, I'm going to chase a rabbit here for a second.
Sorry.
So, no. So my son is really into numbers.
Yeah.
And every time we pass the city limit sign, he's like, well, the song says 21, whatever. And it's technically like 22 right now. So I've had to explain to him census numbers. And then if you come in on one side of town, it says one thing and one the other. So, but yeah.
You know, inspired people to move there? Is that
Yeah,
what's going
you
on?
guys are. You've brought people in.
Yeah, the first time we went to Plainview, we saw that population number, and I was like, oh, well, we probably should change that.
No, don't. It works so much better.
It
that
didn't
way.
rhyme as well, so we left it.
Change it every year, right? As
Yeah.
the population goes up.
Trust me, it'll be a couple different.
Well, that's cool, man. Thanks for having us, brother.
So you've been through Plainview.
yeah.
You've heard of Floydada, yeah. You know, some people
Yeah.
still don't know how to say it, so you know.
Man, I'll be honest. I mean, I was our promoter, Ms. Jen from Generate. She was like, "Hey, you're gonna go to Floyd Data," and then I was like, oh, "Cool." I said it for a couple times, and then when I would have mentioned it to her, I was like, "Floyd da da da." I was like, how do I say it? I felt like I didn't know how to speak English.
So we're all about
I mean,
learning how to say things today, you know? It goes back to you.
English is my third language.
You have a really strange way.
Figure out the
You have a
second one.
you have a really strange way of saying Florida.
Duh.
You got the dough part.
Oh yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool.
So then, let's look to next year. What do you hope, guys? You know, you've got your new album, but beyond that, you know, you're hoping. I assume everybody's kind of hoping that the world gets back to normal. Maybe you want to stay it this way. I don't know. You know, doubt it.
Hoping to get out of the house once in a while.
Yeah, right. No, next year, man. Like I said, new music is what we're looking forward to. New places. You know, we're starting to, in a sense, if you notice, there's different markets in Texas when it comes to West Texas. You know, South Texas,
East Texas,
East
and
Texas.
North Texas.
and North Texas. I was getting there, Jake. And
The suspense is killing me.
see what I have to live in here.
Yeah.
Right.
We definitely want to get more to West Texas.
Yeah.
In 2021, we haven't been out here
Yeah,
enough.
Lubbock, man. Lubbock and
yeah.
Amarillo, Plainview. Yeah. We want to start, branching out more this way.
I will tell you, there's not a lot of places to play in Plainview itself. So you know. But
Yeah.
Lubbock, you know, but you risk the coming to Lubbock and you might get arrested again. You know, so.
You got street corners? You can do it. Yeah, we'll just set up there. Ross, don't look at me like that. Here.
Oh goodness.
Often the easy ones, Evan.
Sorry.
I'm proud of you.
Talk about rabbit trails.
No,
This is 24/7.
well, I actually want to talk about that because you guys are you know, it's obvious you're friends, and it's obvious that you're not to the point of like being in, you know, you're in a van, you're traveling around the state, and you're not like, I can't stand you, you know.
We are way past that.
Most of us live together.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
literally are.
Everybody except Rico, basically.
You
Yeah.
can't stand me. They didn't let me.
Right. Yeah. No, he's got the mansion on the hill, right?
Oh.
He's got the front man house.
That's
we're
not
just
true,
we're
you
just
know.
the help.
Golly.
Rico's band.
No.
I love it.
No, you don't love it. That's awesome. Yeah.
But we do love each other, yeah. You know, I mean, we are very, very fortunate, you know, to be in this situation. You know, having such a great dynamic, having everybody willing to sacrifice and to focus, you know, and to have, you know, to execute the discipline that takes, you know, to do this. So yeah, we love each other. We definitely do.
And everybody brings their own kind of thing to the table, you know, which we kind of talked about diversity in a sense. I mean, everybody, I think that's what makes it work. It's kind of like the melting pot in a sense, you know. No family's perfect, and not to get all like sappy, but no family's perfect, especially this one. But we care about each other, man.
Especially this one.
Yeah. And
What's that supposed to mean?
no, but no, man, it's just what Kin Faux is, man. And then we try to create that in our shows. When you come to a Kin Faux show, you become kin.
Faux show.
There you go. And
Big old dysfunctional family reunion.
that's what we call it, yeah. So for sure, man.
So I just realized I've been saying your name wrong now. It's
What's that?
Faux. I thought I was saying it was folks, like, you know, with emphasizing the
Either way,
X. You know?
either way.
We answer to both.
Either way, either way, you know.
There you go. No, don't worry about it, man.
No worries, man.
We have people come up and ask us which one's Ken.
Yeah, yeah. I like he'll be out
Ken
in-
Fox, right there.
He'll be out in a minute.
He's back there hanging out with Pink Floyd and Jethro Tull.
Nice. Which one's pink?
Exactly.
All right. So last question: is there anything else you guys want to, promote, want to throw out there?
Just our single, man. You can find our music on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere they sell music. And kinfaux.com, KINFAUX. And we have a media site there. You can see videos. We just launched a new Vivo site with our new music lyric video that for Honky Tonk in Heaven.
Yep.
We launched that on Thanksgiving. So go check out YouTube with Vivo there. And then Twitter, Farmers Only, all that good stuff.
Facebook.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Come see us.
That's what I meant.
Come
Facebook.
see us. Come on.
So in Farmers Only, are you kinfolk there?
Actually, he's a true farmer. And, he has a farm. But and then you can see our tour dates and everything there. So if you want some faux family in your life, come on out and check us out, man. That's pretty much it.
All right. So normally we just wrap this up, but I want to throw a curveball at you guys.
Uh-oh.
You're here, you're in the studio, you've got your instruments
Uh-oh.
out. Do you guys mind playing us out?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What do?
Any song you want. It's your stage.
Let's throw it. We haven't been through here with the first single, man, and then the little
do
honky
that.
tonk song.
all right.
All right. This has been Live from the Backroom on 106.1 Flip FM. We're gonna wrap it up with Kin Faux
Yeah.
playing us out.
Thanks, Ryan.
That's all right.
3, 1, 2.
She's drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. Tell the band to play her one more cheating song. Drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. She'll get over him if it takes her all night long. Come on, boys. Hey. Well, her makeup, it didn't make it past the first one. As those teardrops kept falling from her eyes. Come on, Jay. Bartender, bring another and make it a good one. Yeah. 'Cause she'll throw it back on and then begin to cry. She's drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. Tell the band to play her one more cheating song. Drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. She'll get over him if it takes her all night long. Come on, Jiggy Black, turn around. Hey. Oh, thanks for having us, Ryan. One by one, those cowboys sat beside her, and they'll ask her to Nancy and try to take her home. She's a beauty, hey, she's a looker, and now she's hurting. When all she wants is just to be left alone. Oh, come on. She's drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. Tell the band to play her one more cheating song. Drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. She'll get over him if it takes her all night long. Here we go, boys. Tear it up. Drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. Tell the band to play her one more cheating song. Drinking teardrops on the rocks with the whiskey chaser. She'll get over him if it takes her all night long. She'll get over him if it takes her all night long.